998, 999, 1,000. Oh, hello. Just doing my daily exercises. Speaking of exercise, in today's lesson, we're going to go over different exercise gym vocabulary. Stay tuned. Today, we are going to go over different words in English that you might use at the gym. So we'll talk about gym equipment, a few exercises, and even some phrases that you might hear at the gym. So make sure you get out your notepad or your iPad or wherever you take notes, because we are going to go over gym vocabulary. Usually at nearly all gyms, you will see a room called the weight room. And in the weight room, you will see different machines and different types of equipment that will help you with your weight training. And these weights can be free weights. Free weights are weights that are not connected to a machine. Most gyms will have barbells and dumbbells. These are the most common types of free weights, but you might also see kettlebells. And you'll definitely see weight plates, which can be placed on a barbell, which is that long skinny bar. And then we have clamps, which secure the plate onto the barbell. So really, free weights are any type of weight at the gym that you can freely move around. And of course, you might use a bench to help you perform certain exercise movements. So now we will discuss quickly a few different types of exercises performed with free weights. You might be familiar with a bench press, which many people just shorten to bench. You might hear, how much can you bench? Or you might know of the squat, sometimes called the barbell squat, because you usually use a barbell. We also have curls or bicep curls because they work your bicep, that muscle in your arm. And we also have another popular free weight exercise, the deadlift. And in addition to exercises that require free weights, you'll also see people performing body weight exercise. It's kind of self-explanatory. These are exercises where you only need the weight of your own body to perform them. So we have push-ups, where you push your own body up. We have pull-ups, where you pull your own body up. And then we have chin-ups, which are very similar to pull-ups, but instead of your palms facing this way, they are facing this way, toward your face. And then we have a few more dips. These are dips. We have sit-ups, and lunges, because you are lunging forward. And of course, when you are performing some body weight exercises, you don't want to sit on that nasty gym floor, do you? So you might get yourself an exercise mat. Sometimes people call it a yoga mat. And also in the weight room, you will see different weightlifting machines. One of them is called a cable machine. And you are using cables for exercising. More common machines you might see in a weight room are the leg press and the Smith machine. And then there's a room where you can focus on cardio. And cardio is exercise that is meant to increase your heart rate. You might find an elliptical in the cardio room or a treadmill. You might also see a stationary bike. Stationary meaning it doesn't move. You might see a row machine. And now we will go over phrases that you might hear at the gym. Reps are the amount of completed movements you do of a particular exercise. So if I go like this, I just performed 1 rep of curls. It's short for the word repetition. Repetition. Sets are the number of times you complete a number of repetitions. So, for instance, I could do 3 reps of curls. If I take a break and then perform another 3 reps, I just did 2 sets of curls. And before your main workout, you might need to warm up. A warm up is a lower intensity workout that you usually do to prepare yourself for a higher intensity workout. So maybe you go for a brisk walk before your main workout, or maybe you just lift lighter weights before you lift heavier weights. These are both considered warm-ups. Maybe you heard someone say, "Hey, can you give me a spot?" And you were like, "What's that?" To spot someone or to give someone a spot is to assist someone while they are performing an exercise. Maybe someone asks you to spot them while they are doing a bench press or another movement involving heavy weights. To do an exercise until failure is to do it until you cannot perform 1 more repetition. So maybe you are doing curls and then your arm is so fatigued that you stop here. You failed. You did curls until failure. An isolation exercise is an exercise where you are focusing on building or strengthening just one muscle group. So, an example would be calf raises. Calf raises are an exercise you do to work specifically your calf muscles. A compound exercise is an exercise that is meant to build or strengthen multiple muscle groups at the same time. So think, for example, a squat. A squat works multiple muscles in your legs and also your back. So it's considered compound. The next phrase you might hear is to bulk. To bulk means someone is actively trying to put on more muscle mass. So when people do this, they might be lifting heavier weights or definitely taking in more calories, food. And then we have to cut. If someone says they are cutting, then that means they are trying to lose fat. So they might be taking in fewer calories or doing more cardio. If someone is talking about their gains, they're talking about the weight, usually muscle mass that they've increased by, or maybe their strength that they were able to increase. So, for example, I could say, I've made some serious gains over the past few months. And then we have to have good form. If someone has good form, it means they are able to perform a specific exercise correctly. And if they have bad form, well, then that means the opposite. They aren't able to perform the exercise correctly. To max out on an exercise is to see how much weight you can lift on one particular exercise. So maybe you were doing a bench press and you were able to perform 1 rep of 200 pounds and you could not perform anymore. So you could say you maxed out at 200 pounds on bench. So what I just described could also be considered a 1 rep max. You were able to perform 1 rep of 200 pounds. You could also have a 3 rep max or a 6 rep max. So a 6 rep max would be how much weight you can lift for 6 reps. One thing that may occur at some gyms is juicing. And hopefully you don't do this. Well, no, it's a personal choice, do you? But it means that someone is taking steroids, which are those chemicals or hormones that people might inject to increase muscle mass or muscle growth. So if you see somebody doing that, you could say they are juicing. Now we will talk about gym bodies. Lean is used to describe someone who is very slim and usually fit, and they also have very little body fat. Lean. To be ripped means to have very defined muscles, which could mean you don't have much body fat, and we can see your muscles very clearly through your skin. You're ripped. To be shredded is to be very ripped. So you might have only 4 or 5% body fat. We might be able to see your veins through your skin. You are just shredded. To be swole means to have very big muscles. So it differs from terms like shredded or ripped because you have these large muscles, but you might also have a lot of body fat. But basically, if you're swole, you still have muscles that we can see and they're big. So now we have to get in shape. That means to become healthy, strong, and physically fit. To be out of shape means you are not any of these things. So maybe you are not physically fit, you can't run for a long time, or you might have extra unhealthy fat on your body, and you choose to get back into shape. To get back into shape means to return to a state where you are fit. So now you are ready to get to that gym. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, remember to thumbs up. If you aren't already, subscribe to this channel for weekly English lessons. And until next time, English learners.